Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video I wanted to highlight some gameplay from my session yesterday on stream where I just reached into the vault and I pulled out a year 1 hand cannon that I used to like, and I asked, what can I do if I focus on my movement, my recoil control, pacing my shots, and just trying to stay mentally engaged with each match? What can I do? You know what I'm saying? And I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna stick with it. No matter what, I'll commit to this hand cannon and I'll full send here. So I won't pull out my Gnawing Hunger or my Summoner God roll. I won't put this hand cannon away and instead pull out, you know, the same 150s everyone else is using that each have, you know, 92 aim assist or even higher. Dire promise. Spare rations. Sidebar. I know this isn't 100% on topic with the video, but I do kind of have to laugh when people are willing to complain about auto rifles, which I agree were overbuffed this season, but they wouldn't be caught dead admitting that their hand cannon they preach is a high skill weapon has literally almost 100 aim assist value. Almost 100 aim assist on like a base Dire Promise is like something like 92, so when you start stacking the right perks on top of it, you can get close to 100 aim assist. I know, not really related to the topic, but I do want to make sure that we're calling both the pot and the kettle black, right? Honesty is key when offering feedback that could change the game. So while I do agree that autos were maybe a little bit overbuffed and could just be brought down just a smidge, I think we need to be careful about preaching that a certain other thing that is probably equally broken or close to it. I think we got to be careful about saying that is the bar we're trying to reach, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, back to the topic of the video. After using this weapon for a couple of games, I got a nice wee run out of medals, and you know, it was like a 47 kill game or whatever. I was pretty excited about it, and I thought, well, you know, maybe I just got lucky. Maybe the stars aligned, just had a really good game there. But then I got another, and I got another, and I got another, until ultimately I ended up with 7 wee rans, 3 ghosts in the night, a couple of 50 bombs, and several 40+ kill matches. And yes, I said kills, not eliminations. And so at this point, I elevated my position from the lucky skeptic to saying, no, this feels like maybe it's a dark horse here. This is an under-the-radar contender, all in one sitting. So the name of the hand cannon, if you didn't already surmise from the gameplay, is the Minuet 42. And since I know people will ask about the shotgun as well, since I feature it in this gameplay quite a bit, the shotty is the Imperial Decree from the Menagerie. It cannot roll with quick draw, that's not possible. That's why it is often overlooked in favor of other aggressive frame shotguns that do have quick draw, like Astral Horizon or the Mindbender's Ambition. So this one has slide shot, moving target, accurized rounds, and rifled barrel, as well as a ranged masterwork. Now the Minuet, the hand cannon, the thing I want to kind of focus in on here, I'm sorry to report, is no longer available. So if you didn't play Destiny 2 in year 1, then you currently have no way of acquiring it. But chances are pretty decent that if you played in year 1, then you probably have this in your collections. It was a gunsmith drop, and most people got this probably while they were trying to get their Antiope to drop in year 1. And yes, to this day, I still have people who are like, that's not its name. Listen, I'm not a stickler on pronunciation, and so I never correct anybody when they say Antiope. And that's, if that's what you want to call it, that's fine. But it is a Greek word, a Greek name of a Greek character in Greek mythology, and the pronunciation is Antiope. So don't be coming into my comment section being like, he called it Antiope, what a dingus. But don't fret, if you never got one of these things, then you almost certainly have access to the blue version of the gun, which is only slightly different, really. You can pull open your collections and snag an Allegro if the Minuet isn't there for you. So what is it about the Minuet that worked out so well for me? That's really the question here. Well, I really do believe that opening shot is half of the reason I was able to perform so consistently with this weapon. Opening shot is an S-tier perk, no doubt, on hand cannons. The extra range and consistency that you get out of it is incredible. I also like flared magwell, bumping up my reload speed considerably. That's awfully nice for managing multiple targets or back-to-back engagements. Also, the recoil direction is 90, meaning it's pretty close to straight up and down, making this hand cannon pretty predictable. And the optics are clean and unobstructive, so I never really feel awkward behind the sights of this weapon. Yesterday alone, I racked up nearly 300 kills in one sitting with this primary, and I had a smile on my face the entire time. It was a ton of fun. The minuet on paper, it looks like it has pretty poor range. It's like 20 less range than an Austringer, but opening shot offsets that pretty handily. And I will say this too, the hand cannon and shotgun combo in Destiny is essentially what double pump was in Fortnite Year 1. In Fortnite, you had the pump shotgun, which did a big chunk of damage with a lower rate of fire, right? And at good range pretty consistently. But you could have two of them in your inventory, so you could shoot one and then instantly swap to the second one and shoot that one in considerably less time than it took just to shoot the one pump twice. Or you could go pop, swap, pop, and that's what people would do. They go pop, pop. Two different guns, well, the same gun, but two copies of it, essentially. Pop, pop. And the hand cannon shotty combo is often used in the same way in Destiny 2. I mean, how often have you had a hunter, usually a hunter, or sometimes a top tree Dawnblade, shoot you with a shotty once, and then in less than a second, they have a hand cannon out cleaning up the health left behind from the shotty blast. It probably happens to you a lot, because it happens to me a lot too. And the idea is the same. You're getting burst damage while using the time in between, 2 or 3 big bursts of damage to do movements like double jumps, Icarus dashes, things that change your direction midair. Titans, unfortunately, cannot change their direction midair the way that Hunters and Warlocks can, which is why the shotgun approaches for Titans tend to be more grounded in this game. A lot of times it's about, like it used to be the Antaeus wards were the way to play Titan aggressively. It's all on the ground activity, and then now a lot of times what you got is like Dune Marchers, and they're inserting themselves with ballistic slams from the air, and they just kind of go in and it primes up the area with damage, and then their boots on the ground with shotties. So anyways, Warlocks and Hunters tend to use this tactic a lot more consistently, the hand cannon shotty combo, because they can do burst damage, and in between the burst damage they're doing directional changes that can do things like break your aim assist or send them into a third person perspective like a shade step, like an Icarus dash, so they can move and get this big wide angle to see, take in all the information around them, and it makes follow-up damage a lot more easy. And that's one of the reasons that this combo, hand cannon shotty, is so popular. I will say that I was consistently surprised by the range on the minuet, like I said, given its range stat being so low. But in practice, it actually outperformed its own stat value pretty consistently. And I threw in the gameplay here, you'll see some hand cannon engagements that are probably further away than I would typically take a hand cannon engagement, but I stuck it out. The combo of opening shot plus the 90 recoil direction made it pretty easy just to get those consistent, sometimes 4 or 5 headshots at range to put somebody down. And while that's not optimal TTKs, as long as I'm hitting my shots and pacing them well, I can outgun people using other guns that should be outgunning me at that range, and that always felt pretty good. Also, in a recent video, I talk about how there are other factors that go into weapon selection for me beyond just the base stats and perks of a gun. A lot of times I let other things like the look of the weapon, the sound of the weapon, the feel of the weapon, and other things like that also dictate what I'm going to use sometimes. And the minuet is very visually pleasing to me. Most Suros weapons are very clean designs like this. They take shaders well, and they have these rounded edges. They're really pretty weapons. And I have to say that I'm drawn to the minuet for those reasons. And it's a shame that the only Suros hand cannon that can currently drop with random rolls is the nature of the beast. I'd love to see this hand cannon, or even the annual skate, make a reappearance with random rolls, or maybe even a new Suros hand cannon altogether that also lands in the adaptive frame family. Overall, I think it's important to remember that we as a community get to help steer the ship when it comes to Destiny. You know, we should be the change that we want to see as much as possible. Encourage diversity with our selections and with our words and our feedback. Destiny will never be a game with perfect balance, we know that. There are far too many moving parts for that. This isn't like a small list of weapons in the sandbox. It's a highly complex world with factors that seriously affect the way the game plays every single time there's an update. And our goal should be to let Destiny retain its charm and its appeal to all Guardians of all walks, and keep this game fresh and exciting for the new players that may step into the arena. So go out there and slay, but do so with honor, and try to continue to push yourself to grow as a competitor in the Crucible or wherever you enjoy playing Destiny. So let me take a moment to let you know about Real Gamer Hour. RGH is a live show that I record every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern with MTashed and Cacus HD. And we talk about any and all relevant news in the gaming community. That includes news in the console wars, news with developers and titles, news with what's going on among gamers and gaming influencers, what's going on with streaming platforms, and more. It's fun. You know, we don't shy away from taboo topics either. And we just offer our honest commentary on it all. Our episode a couple of weeks ago actually ended up getting demonetized because of some unfiltered takes that we gave on cancel culture and its effects. But honestly, that's fine by us. We just aim to have an engaging show that pulls no punches. And we've had great audiences so far, with some episodes having over 1,000 live viewers, which is really fun for us to bounce off of you guys. We stream here on YouTube, not on Twitch, and I'll leave a link to the channel in the description, but you can just type Real Gamer Hour into the search bar, and it'll be the top result. We upload every episode so you can view it later if you weren't there for the live show, you know, and it's right there on the same YouTube page as well. And also anywhere else podcasts can be listened to, we upload the episodes there as well. We also do an after show where we stick around and interact with members directly, and we take questions straight from the audience, and we would love to see you there. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, I'd love to see you on the live stream sometime, truevanguard.com or fb.gg/thetruevanguard. We have an awesome community of wonderful people, and we keep it pretty chill there, and we play Destiny as well as other games that are fun and relevant at the time. So thanks so much for supporting my channel and watching my videos. You all are a major blessing to me and my family, and I'll be hitting the upload button a lot when the new content drops, so buckle up. Thanks again, be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.